video over Chang Taijiquan Tai Chi postures. So these are, it says moving postures, and what I'm implying by that is we're looking at the individual postures and we work them in line drills to improve our coordination, our balance, our leg strength, all of the attributes that we need to execute that movement. We're doing that for one or two reasons. If you're coming to Chang's Tai Chi and you're doing it for health and wellness, and the form is becomes, or the forms, well, I should say, become more important, right? It's about me being able to get from beginning to end of the form and be able to do this piece, and there's nothing wrong with that. I really like doing Tai Chi forms myself. If you're doing it for application, you want to do the same thing, you want to do your forms, but I also want to be able to apply that movement. And me breaking it down into an individual posture, working the movement, it helps me to get my coordination and potentially my power, my footwork better, all of that stuff for execution. And again, at the same time, if I isolate the movement, because I'm doing it because I want to get better at the forms, it'll improve that one movement, but potentially improve other movements that use some of the same body mechanics. And so in turn, it can make my whole form look better just by me working on this movement that maybe potentially I may have some problem with. Some of these videos, there are many, well, I won't say many, but there's several different things that the posture could possibly do. Some of them are pretty specific. Now, it may be a variation on hand position or something like that, but overall, maybe it's pretty specific, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to do step through, deflect, we say block, some people say control, I say control, and punch. All right, so it's this movement. This movement is pretty popular, and it's in most short routines and all long routines. Depending on where you are, like if this foot was go over this one as it relates to a form, this lead hand is going to come through and I'm going to turn the foot out like this, right? And if you think about it, it's like something is coming at me and I make attachment to this and I'm directing this thing to the side of me, okay? So in the forms, there's two of these pieces. One is controlling, we'll say, you try to attack him with this arm, and you are doing everything on this side of the person's body, which is this one. There's another one where I'm on his inside. I'm dealing with this arm and this arm to get the punch, right? He's opening this thing up on the inside, ready, 1, 2, and he makes his attack. This particular one is only on the outside. And if you put it into context, if you're doing this movement with speed, it's a good movement, and somebody's trying to grab you or hit at you, if you deflect this, and why I say control is because the initial engagement, right? He's trying to grab, hit, whatever, he's trying to do something with his hand to get at you. I move this to my side, but now the elbow is here, right, and the arm. And so this hand needs to come through to, we'll say, secure it to keep him from bending the elbow or pulling the hand free beforehand, right? So I kind of control it or pin it, and then I strike. Okay? If I'm doing it as a more medium or narrow frame, I'm going to be up here like this, right? And I'm going to do it this way. So I'm not going to go as deep, and I'm not going to turn it sharp. So I'm just here. Look, I still engage the hip, and as I step through, I strike. Let's see. I do it from this side. 1, 2, strike. 1, 2, strike. Now, there's a debate also if I should rotate the foot. larger the frame, potentially the more I want to rotate that foot. Meaning like, say I'm here, and see how sharply I turn the foot out, so that when I come through, I want to rotate this foot, the knee, the hip, so I can generate power out of this hand. If I'm doing it shorter, potentially I'm already right here with it. And in this situation, even if it's longer, a lot of the movements in the Tai Chi, they look so big, right? But in reality, I'm attached to his arm, and this arm is attached to his torso, right? So yes, it looks gigantic, but in reality, I'm stuck to him. So if I do back to this movement, I'm here, and I step out and make this thing really big, articulate the foot, the knee, and the hip. If I do it shorter and say, no, I'm just right in here, real close, I may turn this foot, and then I may just use the muscles in the hip from here and turn here, see? When all possible, try to articulate the foot, even in the short stuff, right, like this. It's going to give you more power. Again, doing it like this, yeah, you can still make power, but I've got to turn this hip, and the foot seems, like it's holding you back, right? It's keeping you from really turning this hip. Open up a little bit more, and turn with it. And that goes for all of the moves. Like something like brush knee, see how my foot is? See? I want to be able to generate that power. But at the same time, I can do it this way. My point is, don't worry that you have to turn your foot, and don't worry that, well, so-and-so doesn't, or these people don't do it like that, and these people do. We want to, if you're doing it for application, we want to maximize our body's ability to do this push, or strike, or takedown, whatever it is. If I'm doing it for my health, that means I don't want to damage things. And a lot of times, if you think fixed, right, and my foot's already here, so I did like this, and my foot it's not really turned this far, and it's not turned this far, right? It's kind of somewhere in between, and you don't think to turn, right, when you do the movement, you're just potentially going to damage your knee anyway, right? That's not what we want to do. So if you can feel that it's off a little, give yourself the opportunity to turn it. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you were looking at it related to body mechanics, it makes so much more sense. I'm not saying that everybody keeps the foot frozen and we don't. I'm saying that there are different groups with different opinions on that subject. And if you just think about what I just shared with you, those two reasons. If I'm doing it for my health, and my foot's here, and I'm more so wrapped up in the hand movements and things like that I don't let my body turn the foot. It's potentially going to be tight. And if you're moving around, your foot's maybe not going to be where you want it, right? And the same thing if I'm flowing through a form, making little micro adjustments, right? He's doing this movement, and maybe the foot is, not in the exact place I want it to be to do this move. If he makes small adjustments as he's going through, it'll save your knees and your ankles, and you'll flow through the moves, and it'll look a lot better, my personal opinion. So if we, again, back to this move, if I do it with a large frame, I really want to dig deeper. See how much lower I'm going through, and then as I execute the movement. I turn, I step through. And this is a great move that flows freely from side to side. Larger frame. And look, I'll do it without moving the foot. I guess my point is that would it improve
the mechanics may generate more force if I turn the foot, more than likely. But it shouldn't be that I have to do it that way, or I have to have my foot here and I can't move it. It's where it's supposed to be. If I need to make little adjustments, or I need to turn the whole of the foot, it is what it is. That's one of my things about Tai Chi, that too many people, the most important thing is I'm not hurting my body, and the movements are realistic enough that they would work in a self-defense situation. All of the other stuff doesn't matter. And if I have to do it in X minutes, or it has to look just like this, that mentality will kind of, it makes it like dead in a way. I need it to be natural. And when you drive down the road, or you walk down the road, or you're doing something at your home, you're always making, subconsciously, you're always making little adjustments when you're doing something, and the Tai Chi should be the same. It should be very natural. And this is what I appreciate about the system that I do. My Sigo, my teacher's teacher, the flow of the form can be at different rates, slower or faster, or the form can be done with slow and fast moves. It's not so much like it's just a free-for-all, but I need to be able to naturally work through the content. And so again, if I'm doing it, again, it's a line drill, 3 or 5, or you live in an apartment and you can do 2 or 1 before you turn around, that's fine. But if I do it with more of a medium frame, you can step this way too, like this. More of a medium frame. And one more thing. This hand is not going clunk like that. Or at least I don't do it that way. You want to think this is going at a diagonal. Like something is coming, right? And when I make contact with it, the arm is going this way. Right? It goes this way, and then it comes back. So, if you think you're turning, it's not doing that, but when I turn my body, the arm somewhat goes out, see? If you do it as an open hand, you can see it more. So, like this. If I do it as a large frame, I'm loading in my legs, right? And I drive out. See the incline of my body. So, again, pretty functional movement. To me, it's not doing a block, it's not doing a throw. It's just continuing with somebody trying to strike me. I'm deflecting it, I'm controlling his elbow, and I'm striking at his body. Now, whether you're on the bottom or the top of the hand is irrelevant. It's where there's a hole, right? I may do this, and he's shorter than me, and the arm is further down, and so I can't really get to his lower, we'll say his liver, his spleen, punching low out here. And so I have to punch higher, right? Maybe I would get to the face, or, I'm not trying to hurt him, maybe I'm trying to strike him or something. So anyway, I hope it makes sense. And like I said, if you're doing the Chang Tai Chi, again, it's just, I want to work through this move. And a lot of people have coordination issues with this movement. practice it by itself, and you break it down, it should be easy. But if you think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and if I do it larger, I can even almost break it down to 4, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can either, one more small thing, you can either pick the foot up like you see me doing, like this. If you put it in the context, right, you deflected this, and you come in and made the strike. Or you can glide through, and using like the tip of the foot. See? So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching.